We're back. Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, the wine's already poured because this is not part two, but...
This is our second podcast, but we taped two on the same day.
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
Well, pretty much. And the first one was all about our feelings. Well, we left a lot out about our feelings.
We sure did.
But yeah, here we are. So this is number 90, and you are...
I'm Judy.
And you are...
I am Peggy.
And I'm Carol.
Yes.
And welcome, and...
we are the Wildflowers.
Yes, that's true. And when this airs, it's just going to be right before Thanksgiving. You got any plans, Miss
I'm
Peggy?
going to the Poconos every other year. My kids rent a house. My daughter Samantha named it Rejectsgiving.
I love that. Wait,
that was because in 2020, because of the pandemic,
right?
It was my daughter Jessica and her husband, her family, go every other year to his family's house.
That would happen.
And that year they didn't do it because his parents were afraid of the pandemic, and so they got rejected. And then Samantha, her husband, they were going to go to his mother's house in Pennsylvania, and she wanted no part of it either. So Samantha said, "Oh my God, it's Rejectsgiving. I'm renting a house. Let's go." So we rented a house in Pennsylvania, and like we spent the long weekend there, and we had our own Thanksgiving. So much fun. So now every other year we do that when it's our turn to spend it together.
I love that.
Yeah, I do too. I think that would be a fantasy of mine.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's very cool. How about you?
Oh, well, actually we're going to do it this year at my mom's house. Usually, well, I do Christmas, and I've been doing Thanksgiving the last few years, but my sister and her will be with her husband's family this year. My brother and his wife are not coming down this year because they're going to be taking a big trip to the Philippines in a weekend, so they're not going to do two big trips, and I get that. So and my husband's working, so it's just going to be the girls and I, and so Mom says, "I'll do it at her house," which I think is great. So I'll cook, and all that stuff. But,
okay. And immediately when you said just the girls, you're like, "Come here," but you.
With my parents, of course.
How about you?
Oh, well, every year now it's all here at my house, but I don't do a whole lot of cooking anymore because Natasha, my daughter, loves to cook.
I love her cooking.
Yes, and so they're going to be doing the whole 9 yards.
That's nice.
And I'm going to swing that couch around over against the wall and put the long table in here, and that's what I'm going to do. But I have a question. What's the one thing you would miss if you went to somebody's house for Thanksgiving and they didn't serve it?
Oh, stuffing.
Stuffing? What about you?
Pie.
Oh, she went right to the dessert.
I knew that she would say dessert.
Pie. Oh, I love pie.
Yeah.
I love pie too, but I like the savory stuff more, and I love stuffing.
Yeah, I love stuffing.
Well, I love savory, but I love pie so much, but I only let myself eat it on the holidays. So or else I would eat the whole pie. So
what's your favorite?
Any pie. But
what's your favorite pie?
My favorite is strawberry rhubarb.
Oh, really?
Oh, interesting.
But I love all pie.
All pie.
What's your favorite pie?
Pumpkin.
Really?
I love pumpkin.
What about you?
Banana cream.
Well, I love
but only homemade, the way I make it in my family. I
love apple pie if my mom made it, and she's no longer here.
Yeah.
So
I'll eat all the pie.
Yeah, and
I like pie also.
Yeah, but if I don't have dessert for Thanksgiving, I'm okay because I'll enjoy the mashed potatoes, the gravy, the stuffing.
Oh, I love mashed potatoes.
Me too.
I love
and sweet potato casserole. I do.
Yeah.
With the
See, I could live
on top.
without that. I could live without that, but I never used to eat it in the past maybe 6 years or so because my kids do make that. I tasted it, I said, yeah, it is good, but it's like dessert to me.
Oh,
so yeah. I'd rather have the extra potatoes, mashed potatoes, and the extra stuffing and the lots of gravy.
Yeah, Natasha gets very annoyed at me because I'm like, are you sure we have enough gravy? I'm like, are you sure? But, I love, like, what was I going to say? It was no lie. Oh, I know. I've yet to try, and every year they've made it because Andrew's family likes it, and Andrew's used to it. It's oxtail. And I've never
tasted oxtail.
Is it oxtail soup or just oxtail?
No, just oxtail.
Okay.
How they make it.
I've heard of the soup.
And Chuck, he comes and he's always looking for it. Is there going to be oxtail? Because he loves it. And I'm like, and every year I say, yeah, I'm going to try it. And then it gets to it, and I'm like, why would I put that on my plate when I want to fill it up with the mashed potatoes, the gravy, and the stuffing, and
Because you want to try something new.
But I apparently don't, because every year I think I'm going to, and then I don't. But yeah, I don't know. But,
Well, you could just take a little tiny piece of it to taste it.
But
She doesn't like
I think I tasted it once, maybe at one of those tasting things that Samantha goes to.
Maybe
You know,
it could be.
I have to ask her if I ever did. I mean, I
Well-
had sea urchin.
Yeah, that's. I don't think
Yeah,
I
that
would
was
even.
You're very
I did it. I said I'll do it. I'll probably never have it again.
I'm amazed because you do have a sensitive stomach sometimes. So I'm amazed. that
Yeah.
you would- and Judy's enjoying the popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
I know I can't
Wow.
eat anymore because
I can.
But
I mean I could eat that whole thing, but then I'll regret it. So,
Well,
but anyway, we're drinking wine here.
Yes.
You
And
notice the big
non-alcoholic
bottle.
beer.
This is our second podcast with the same bottle because, as Carol said, we do them back to
Yeah.
back. And I had bought this for a meeting that we went to after the election because I thought that everybody was bringing wine, and I walked in there with this, and nobody else was bringing wine, and there was 60 to 80 people
So what did
there.
you do? Did I pour out little Dixie cups?
No, I put it back in her tote bag because I was embarrassed. It wasn't a wine drinking,
Yeah, no.
even though I knew a lot of people there who used to come to our bookstore and drink wine. I said, oh my God, everybody's
it
going
was
to
a
think.
whole different.
It
type-
was, yeah, it
what we
was.
expected.
So
It
I
was
said,
really
I'm not
good.
going to pull out a bottle of wine and nobody else bought it. It wasn't, and it was in a church. So I just brought it home. We hid it in her tote bag, and then I brought it home. And when I was leaving today, I said, well, I have to bring wine for the podcast. And I saw this sitting in my laundry room. I said, might as well,
Yeah.
you know.
And it was very good the first time. It's good this time. Tell
Yeah,
them
it
what
is good. All right, so it's Bola, which is a big
another
wine
one.
company, and Bola wines are very
I think
good.
I've had this before.
Bola is a big wine company.
Yeah,
They
I've
make a
had
lot
it.
of wines. They're Italian wines. This is a Pinot Noir,
Very good.
and I can't really see because it's too dark in
You want my
here.
glasses?
Can you turn that light up?
I can.
Oh, that's
Let
much
there be
better.
light. Let there be light.
Let's see if it says anything about it. Oh, it
no.
doesn't really. Oh, yeah, it does. It says, it is well balanced and fruit forward with black cherry and raspberry flavors. And it pairs well with grilled meats and poultry,
And
cheeses and pastas. And popcorn. Oh, well, she's drinking non-alcoholic
Oh, that's
beer.
right. That's
Yes,
right.
Okay, so it's pretty good.
Yeah. What's
It-
the alcohol content?
That's what I'm looking for right now.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Oh, yes,
Oh.
12.5%.
Perfect.
So that's not bad
That's
at
enough for
all.
a big bottle.
So,
So
yeah.
you won't get too drunk too fast.
Oh my God, no. But anyway, it's pretty good. It's smooth. It's light.
I was
It's,
happy. I was genuinely surprised. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me just give a quick plug while I'm here. You know, I
Yes.
know it's your turn, but I'm drinking
No.
Clausthaler non-alcoholic beer. It's the first time I've had it. You know, here I was looking for Athletic, which I want to bring for you next time because that was excellent. This one is very good too, and Peggy tried it before.
It's delicious. It tastes like a real beer.
I have to say, I think non-alcoholic companies
idea.
are really bringing their non-alcoholic beer game to the
Yeah, I
table,
know.
'cause I've
Better
had
than the
quite a
wine
few.
companies.
I've
Much
had
better
quite
than the
a few
wine.
really good beers. Even Sam Adams has one, which was I think was voted the #1 best tasting non-alcoholic beer, and it is
really?
delicious. It's
Sam
very-
Adams?
Sam Adams.
Oh,
It's
wow.
delicious. So. And you can have one of these every night
Can I
and
see
not
that?
wake up with a headache, and still feel
Yeah.
like, and it tastes like real beer.
Wow.
It's really, really good, and it doesn't have a lot
Oh,
of
this
calories.
is a German one.
That's a German. I never
Yeah.
heard of that one, so I
Yeah.
saw it.
And where did you get it?
Stop and Shop?
Oh, okay.
Wow.
It's right
All
there.
Like my son-in-law's has gluten allergies, so we have to always have gluten-free beer.
Gluten-free beer.
And he's found a lot that he likes. I feel like it's definitely becoming more and more necessary.
Yeah.
To make, and there's a market for it.
Well, even like the younger people, I think we talked about
We
it in
did.
the past, one that people are, alcohol's not good for you in any amount now, they're saying. They used to say, have one glass of red wine a day and it's good for you. And now they're saying alcohol is just not good
Makes
for
you
you.
Makes you
So.
choke. As soon as I'm saying that, you're saying.
Well, I have a question for you ladies before.
Okay.
I have a word too.
Oh,
before
do you wanna go
No,
first?
no. You go ahead.
I recently reread a classic book that I hadn't read since high school.
Ooh.
And I
I
got
just
complete-
bought one. I wonder if it's the same book.
Really? Mine was Catcher in the Rye.
Oh, okay.
wow.
I just bought 1984.
Oh, I want to read that one.
I'll
again.
lend it to you when I
Okay,
didn't
good.
start it yet.
Well, the reason why I read Catcher in the Rye was because my daughters are reading it in high school, and I said, "Oh, this will be great. We could talk
They
all
didn't
the same
ban
time."
it yet.
They didn't
Wow.
ban it, right? So I read it.
That was
quick.
on the banned list.
Yeah.
It sure
Yes.
was. But I got a completely different perspective as I'm
Oh,
older
that's
now.
so
and I'm
interesting.
seeing it from a parental perspective.
Yeah,
and my
so-
heart just goes out to Holden Caulfield
Yeah,
now. It's
I
like,
know.
oh, somebody help this boy.
I
Like
know.
really. But have you read a book like that? Like reread a classic and got a different take of it?
I read Invisible Man like 4 times by
Oh, wow.
Ralph Ellison.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's still so much to grasp, and I almost feel like I should read it again because I'm just like, what am I missing? Because it's very
Gotta put that on my list.
racial tension and that kind of thing. And it was like, and every time I'm like, I just have to read this again because I know I'm not grasping something, but it's so well written. But and what about you?
Well, I reread Wuthering Heights. Now I'm going back years, and the first time I read it, I was, a young woman,
Yes.
probably 18
Oh,
or 19 or
Heathcliff.
17,
Yeah.
and I loved it. And then many years later, I said, oh, I love this book. Let me reread it. And I didn't like it anymore.
Yeah.
I
That's
said,
so fun.
what did I see in this book? I
Right.
really don't like it anymore.
It's
so,
what we bring to the page.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So I just
Yeah.
give a chance to try.
The same book Gone with the Wind. I loved it. And now I say, oh, that book was really pretty terrible. It
Yeah,
made it
yeah,
look
yeah.
like slavery was okay. Look at
Yeah.
all these happy
Yeah.
slaves,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
And,
that's amazing. Yeah, no, I read The Great Gatsby like 3 times too.
yeah,
as
I
well.
read that twice.
Yeah.
I liked it better the second time I read it when I got older
I'm
than the
gonna have to
first
give that a
time.
check because when I read it the first time, obviously it was in high school. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I can
so
see that.
I gotta see, and I haven't wanted to read it, but I should. There's been a research on Broadway. My girls want to go see The Great Gatsby.
Oh, really?
on
Well, did you
Broadway,
see the
and
movie with Leonardo DiCaprio?
I didn't, 'cause I don't
Remember,
like
we
this
went
director.
to see it, and it was like the music was like
Oh my
really
God.
like rap music.
I went out and got to see
Hip
you right
hop,
after.
really?
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
it really made me feel empathy for Gatsby,
Yeah, yeah.
and, which I didn't have when I read the book.
Same here. Same
And I
here.
said, oh my God, this poor
Yeah.
guy, he was
Yeah.
tortured,
Yeah.
with love.
I gotta.
and-
All right, I'll watch it. I'll put it on.
It was very good. He
Yeah.
played a very good role.
Well, speaking of books.
My turn to do the book.
Oh, wait a minute. Can I do a word?
Oh, that's right.
yes.
Wait, remind me again the last word. Sane what?
Sane washing.
Sane washing. I
Instead
don't
of brainwashing,
Right,
it's
right.
sane
Okay. I was
washing.
like, what did she say? It was saying something.
Okay, this word, you might be able to figure out what it's about. Vinaceous.
With a PH.
V.
Oh.
Vinaceous. Vinaceous.
V, what? V?
Vinaceous.
Sounds like tenacious,
Vinaceous.
but with a V.
Vinaceous.
Tenacious. Oh, I like that word. Something with wine.
Right. A
Oh,
strong,
it is.
a strong wine, a bold wine.
I'll give you the sentence. The sunset cast a vinaceous tint across the sky.
Oh,
Wine colored.
Yep.
Okay.
Color
We
of
won,
red
ding,
wine.
ding, ding,
Yay!
Oh, that's a good word.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, so I'm gonna do the book
Okay.
Okay.
as I stuff my face with this popcorn.
Popcorn.
The book is a collection of short stories called Wednesday's Child Stories by Yiyun Li. Okay, so Wednesday's Child, that title caught me because I remember the poem. I think we talked about it yesterday. And in case you don't know, I have it all here. It's Monday's child is fair of face. Tuesday's child is full of grace. Wednesday's child is full of woe. Thursday's child has far to go. Friday's child is lovely and giving. Saturday's child works hard for a living. Child born on the Sabbath day is bonny and blithe, good and gay. We're both Sunday.
Yes, that's right.
That's what I wonder.
And you're Friday.
Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. Okay.
Yeah,
so you're
I have
Oh,
far to
far to
go.
go.
So I always remember that poem. And so Wednesday Child is full of woe. So you get it's a flavor of what's going to come in with this story. And the first, the theme of all of the stories really about mothers, caretakers, loss. So each one is a little different. I have a note to myself just to give you a flavor. Read the dedication, which is the beginning. For my singular friend, Bridget Hughes, this book, like all the others, is but a placeholder. So kind of aching, I think there, placeholder, right? And she referenced that placeholder in one of her stories, in here.
Oh, that's right. These are all interrelated stories.
Not they share a common theme, but they're not. Right.
That's what I mean.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So anyway, the title story, Wednesday's Child, is where we find a mother coping with the loss of her daughter who had recently had suicide, and she does this question here in the story that there are two types of mothers: those who have taught their children to be kind to themselves, and those who have not learned to be kind to their children. And I really pondered that statement as I was, it made me think, it's not a fact statement, obviously. It's an opinion,
aren't there three kinds of parents? The parents who do both.
Right, I do, but that's just like what this mother is. Her daughter was sent off to a very private school. Mm-hmm. She was a good relationship, and the daughter ended up walking in front of a train and killing herself. She was 15, I think she was, and we see this mother in Europe somewhere, and she's searching, for answers. Why, maybe I shouldn't have lent her that book or told her to read, this, or it's my fault because she was born on a Wednesday. Like going back to even just things like, irrational, but just trying.
Right.
And she's flashing back. She's nearly 16, 15 years, 11 months old. And she finds herself on a train in Belgium facing a woman who's pregnant. And just she starts having thoughts about her, she's gonna, and the woman goes into labor, and she has to help her deliver this child and just also the day of Wednesday pops in through all of this too. Really, she's a very good writer, and that was one of the stories I thought was very, very good to read. Just to kind of focus there. But now on this Wednesday, the recollection of her mother's verdict did not arouse any acute feeling in Rosalie. She was on her way to Brussels and later to Ypres. It was a sad thing that Rosalie's mother, who had loved her, had loved only with cruelty. But at least Rosalie could take solace in the fact that her love for Marcy, that's her daughter, had been kinder, and that she had never demanded that Marcy repay her with love or with kindness.
Oh. Wow.
Because her mother was very, very cruel.
Yeah.
So all of the stories I think are very, very good. One of them I think, and I won't spend too much, I did a lot here, was another one, when we were happy we had other names. And
that's the title.
That's the title of it. And again, the theme of suicide comes in. Here's a couple who lost their son by suicide, and they're trying to, persevere. The theme of preservation, just moving on and surviving, is also there, and I think so. That's hopeful. I think as well. A way for her to get through this is she compiles a list of dead people that she knows, whether she knew someone that died 20 years ago or a neighbor down the street. She just has and she writes something that she remembers about each one, because in her mind, if she can remember at least one fact about this person or memory, then they're still alive, in a way. And she wants that for herself, her son, and she reflects on her grandfather, who was 101 when he died. And she thought this was a great life, and as she's really reflecting on and learning more, she discovers that he too had great loss. She forgot that he was married before, and that his first wife died after the infant son died right after birth, and then she committed suicide. And so how life kind of mirrors, what you think is happiness, but he ended up living a very full, happy life. He spent the last years of his life not having a residence. He would just travel from child to grandchild, spend a couple of months with this grandchild, spend a couple of months with this child, and just spread himself around, which I thought was so beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's the way he lived.
Oh.
And anyway, so I love it, and when I finished it, I said, this woman knows heartbreak. And so I had to look her up, and as I discovered, she unfortunately dealt with depression. She had multiple suicide attempts, but she also lost 2 children through suicide at around the same ages as what happened in her book, and one even by walking in front of a train, which was eerie because she wrote the story before it happened.
Wow.
And so that really is scary. So anyway, I definitely highly recommend it. My mom read this after it. She loved the book too. So this is Wednesday's Child.
That made me think, when you said that, it made me think of the other story when the mother was questioning, should I have told her to read that book?
Yeah. Right. That's why I'm wondering, she's Rosalie. You know, but yet that story came out first.
Yeah.
This book was published in 2023. By Picador Books, and I think her son died. She lost her 16-year-old son in 2017, and the 19-year-old who was hit by the train, later ruled a suicide, was February 16th of 24.
Wow.
So this book was out a year.
The book came out a year, but one of the stories is about a girl who jumped in front of a train.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's heavy.
It's really very heavy and just so sad.
Yeah.
But she writes. There's something, as you're a writer. Can I just read this for you real quick, Carol?
Yeah.
Because I wanted your take on it. She's talking about writing and how her writing can sometimes let her down.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's talking about, she had little kids, and one of the teachers when they were little said, and wanted them to the parents to pack, snacks and a stuffed animal and a little note to reassure them, cause they lived in California with a lot of earthquakes, and if there were earthquakes, they'd give them these kind of packs to kind of make them comfortable. And she goes, I had always prepared the snacks and the stuffed animal and the family photo, but I had never been able to write that note to my children. What could I say to them? If your teacher is reading this to you means that mommy and daddy are late picking you up, it may also mean that we will never come back for you, but all will be well in the end. Because we lived through their childhoods without being hit by a deadly earthquake. The care packages were returned to us when the children graduated from preschool. Still, if a writer cannot write a simple note as a parental duty, what meaning is there in the words she does write? A few days later, I got an email from my former student who had vowed to dismantle my canon. She said that she was traveling in South America. She mentioned a few things she had learned from our classes. I remember that once you said to us, one must want to be great in order to be good. To this day, I still wonder why you look sad when you said that, she wrote.
Wow.
And, so it's just very... anyway, I like her writing.
Right.
Very thought-provoking.
But it's funny what you wanted my take on it. And
yeah.
When I buy birthday cards for my kids, sometimes I'm like, I've gotten a blank card and I've written my own message to them. But lately it's like, they like humor cards or whatever.
Right.
And so I just get a card and I just write a little note at the end. But part of me is like, am I selling myself short that I'm not giving a blank card and writing it out for them?
My sister Maureen is a beautiful writer, and any card that she's ever given to me and my other sisters, she always writes something so personal and beautiful in it.
That's nice.
And then when I send her a card, it's like, oh, I love you so much, blah, blah, blah. And I always feel like, but that isn't, it's in me,
right.
But it's in me in a different way.
Right.
I mean, she knows how I feel about her.
Right.
But she always just says something so beautiful that I never throw away those cards.
I love that.
Sometimes she writes it on a little piece of parchment and rolls it up with a ribbon.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that is sweet.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Definitely.
I want a birthday card like that.
Then we gotta
Maureen,
send
write
her a
me
birthday
one.
All
card.
right, I'll tell Maureen to write something about her.
Well, thank you. How many wildflowers did you get?
I did 4.5, 5.
Right.
Whatever. It's a very good
Yeah.
collection of short stories. I highly recommend it, and you can get it at your library on ebooks too, if you want to.
Very
Because
cool.
that's where my mom got it. But I know you wanted to read it, so I'm going to leave it with you.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Hopefully I can fit
I
that
want
in.
to read it too, but I have too many books in my pile
Well,
right
if-
now.
if
So
you're
I already
writing-
have the Jamie Foxx, not Jamie Foxx.
Jamie
The
Ford?
many, yes.
Oh, the many,
the many lives
many
of.
daughters of a
Oh,
farmer.
right.
Really good book.
I know. I just finished a good one too. So.
And I've just been so busy writing that I haven't been reading, and it's such a challenge because I have so many books I want to read, but when I spend my time, it's usually writing. So whatever.
But at least you read. So, I mean,
Well,
that's...
yeah, my own stuff. No, I know I read other things too, but yeah. So it's my turn to do the topic, and as I said in the last podcast, I've been very sad, very down in the dumps, and I decided, like, and I talked to Peggy, and I don't know what topic to write. She goes, just talk about your book launch and your book party, because my novel came out before she was at Finley on September 10th, and I've done a lot of events for it, and I had my last event last night at Long Beach Library. Oh, fuck. At Long Beach Library.
What's so funny?
Well,
I don't know if you want me
we
to
sold
say.
out. We sold out. Well,
100% of the people who showed up bought the book.
bought the book.
It's so unusual in a library event.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one person.
One person showed up.
Well, actually, that's not true. Two people showed up. One came early because I was there set up, and she and I promote it, like, ask a question about writing and publishing, because I've been in this business so long, and she came with a lot of questions, and I was more than happy to
You
answer.
were so kind and thoughtful with
Well.
that woman. She was an older woman. And, it sounds like, like she has grandiose ideas about her writing.
Right.
But you were very kind and you gave her a lot of information, and she did truly appreciate it.
Right.
So she didn't really stay for the book event part.
She had
came
no
for
interest
her.
in my book.
Exactly. She
No-
just came to
That's a shame.
find out.
But
And that's fine.
Right.
That's fine.
Right.
But then we were going to pack it in, because Carol said, I guess we'd just pack up and go.
Yeah.
And then it was
Five people registered, but that doesn't guarantee that
Right,
they're going to
right,
show up.
That is
right.
And I know that so many events that because we do events for others, people aren't going to like the way they were, and
Yeah.
I think that it has to do a lot with the nature of the feelings of the election, everything.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we were going to pack it in, like I said, and then this one woman came in. She's a nurse, and she was just curious, interested. So I gave her my event. I read from the book,
Nice.
Yeah.
and and we chatted, and she bought a copy.
Nice.
And she,
Yeah.
she's trying to get back into reading. She says
Good.
she's reading The Secret History now by Donna Tartt. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
ever
No, I
read that.
don't know that one.
Love that book. So, so it was a nice conversation, and that's one thing I share in my book, The Author's Guide to Planning Book Events, is I tell writers, don't, like even the woman at the library, she sent me an email the day before, because we only have 5 people registered. If you want to cancel, that's fine. I said, no, I don't want to cancel. I said, even if those 5, we didn't get 5, but even if they show up, they're going to get what they showed up for,
And that one person listened to you, Carol read from the book, and she bought the book, and that one person could tell 5 other people,
Right.
oh, I love this book, I said, spread it around, lend it to people, tell
Right,
people about
exactly.
it.
Right, exactly.
So-
I just think it's foolish not to treat them like, oh, you showed up just one, you don't count.
Yeah,
And that's
of course,
rude.
yeah,
That's-
it is rude.
We've all met and hosted authors that
Yes.
have felt
Yeah.
that way,
Yes,
over
yes.
the years, and,
Oh,
and it
yeah.
always left a bad taste in my mouth.
Uh-huh.
Left at the
That's
end of it,
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, people showed up for you,
right.
you
Yeah,
do the
exactly.
event.
And I mean, that happened with Without Grace when we were, I think it was New Hampshire, and there was only like 2 men there. No, it was a man and a woman. And Lacey, you are making me
It's okay,
crazy.
just go
She's
through it,
fine.
go through it.
Anyway, sorry about the thumping, it's my dog. Anyway, and so I sat down with them and I chatted with them, and they bought 4 books because
See?
they were going to give a gift and whatever and that kind of thing, which was really nice, And I'm not a known name,
Right.
so but I put everything into this book, like
Yes, you
from the
did.
writing to promoting it to publicity. I was able to get on CBS Mary Calvey's book club. PBS is going to air it's upstate PBS, Mountain Lake PBS. They're going to air it probably the beginning of December. They were going to, they said because of the election, they had a lot of, news stories. I don't know why I wasn't a priority. No, they'll be airing it. So I'm excited about that. I did a podcast at Syosset Library, which was a lot of fun. I did a podcast at Farmingdale Library, and that aired for a little while until the head of the library decided to take it down, because one of the questions that the interviewer asked me, he goes, I just want you to say one word description for these characters from the book. So he's naming the characters. And he named one, and the immediately knee-jerk reaction, I said, asshole. Mm-hmm. And he goes, oh, well, okay, that says it. Well, the head of the library didn't like that I used that word, so she asked them to take it down.
Isn't that the same woman who had a problem with one of your other books?
I think
she didn't have the problem, but we were going to do Carrie Mullen's book. They had the Book of Mothers, and she says because they have Moms of Liberty in their in that neighborhood, and I guess they watch what's going on in their local library.
So they want to censor something.
And Carrie Mullen's book, I don't understand even why. Evidently, they didn't know anything about the book. Because it was really a book about mothers in literature throughout the past 100 and something years, how mothers were depicted.
Right.
It was very interesting.
And it was very foolish that they did it. But anyway, but yeah, I've done a lot.
We don't do anything with them.
No, we don't. I had the book launch, which was a lot of fun. It was food, and I didn't get a chance to eat the food because I was signing the whole time.
Yeah, you were.
Which was
it was a very nice event.
It was.
Every time I made up a little plate of food, I put it down, and I was talking to somebody who was selling a book. I came back, and it was cleared away. So
yeah, I had a nice. And there's like little lanterns that my daughter Natasha, she did all the setup for it, and it's funny when she showed me these. I went, oh, that's cute, and she goes, well, you do know why I bought lanterns, and I went, no. And she goes, because there's a lantern in your book that plays a part in your book. I'm like, oh, I forgot, because I was already working on my third or fourth novel after that one. But, so then, what else do I want to say about my...
Well, you want to say how many people came to it?
To my launch?
Yeah, I think it was 88 people.
88 people, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And have you seen more interest in the prequel now?
Yes, I absolutely have.
The prequel, Without Grace.
Yes, the prequels. Without Grace.
I'm sorry.
Before she was a Finley is the prequel.
Is the prequel? Sorry.
Sort of prequel sequel because it does start after the fact, but then it goes back in time. But I've gotten so many nice emails from people that loved it, and I do try to encourage them to write reviews on Amazon and Goodreads and that kind of thing. I mean, it's lovely that they're reaching out to me and it's validating, but I don't have that many reviews on Amazon. And reviewers, publishers, if they want to buy your next book, they like to see.
Yes, that you have got a lot of
so that is a struggle, but you know what? I do this because I love to do it, and I'm very fortunate that I got as far as I have with my writing career, quote unquote. But yeah, I'm working on 2 other novels now, and I had no idea that I was going to get this many books off the ground that I'm writing, but Peggy makes fun of me because voices come to my head, and these people have.
But you put in the work, Carol, too. Every day you do something for what your dream is.
I absolutely do. And I have more events coming up. I'll be doing the Barnes & Noble out in Riverhead in April. I feel like I'm doing. Oh, and Book Club is going to be meeting with me. I'm going to their book discussion group in December. I don't have a date yet with them.
What book club?
It's with Cindy's book club, Vocals.
Yeah.
So.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So that one and.
And we're trying to get our book club together, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's on the same day that the rally is going to be in Washington, D.C.
What day?
June 18th. But so I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. I'm so tempted to go to D.C.
I'm tempted to go too, and I keep on thinking about it, and I said maybe I'll talk to Carol about it. There's going to be violence there. I know there is. It's not going to be. And Samantha went to one of them back in the day, and she said, Mom, it's like overwhelming there,
Yeah.
you know.
But they usually do a sister march
Well, I've been
in
looking,
New York City.
and that's what I've been
I've
looking.
been looking, there's nothing right now. They said, do you want to organize one? I don't have those skills. I
Yeah,
can't. So, and the last time they did not. Because remember, we looked,
We
it
went
must
to
have
the
been
one
in,
in Manhattan, though. We went to a march in Manhattan.
What is this march on June 18th?
yeah, but
for?
that was in a long time ago.
Yeah.
Then about 4 years ago, we were looking, they were doing a march about, it was when they overturned Roe v. Wade. And there was nothing.
Oh, that's right.
There was
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. Well, this one is just protesting Trump being in office, I guess.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
I wonder why they chose June 18th.
It's before.
January.
Oh, January 18th. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's 2
that
days
makes more
before
sense.
the
Okay, that makes more
inauguration.
sense. Okay.
But anyway,
So-
getting back on track with the book. So, yeah, I'm very lucky that I get to do. I had a really wonderful events upstate New York. Sadly, one of the bookstores is closing this weekend. They're
Oh.
closing, yeah, and Bookberg Books, they just can't stay. I know he's trying to work on something to open up again somewhere else because he's in a mall. But we'll see if he can pull that off. But the best one was in the Malone Library. It was such
That was a good event.
that one just that was just, and it was because a lot of people are from the area where I grew up, and they were just so supportive and so encouraging, and
they liked reading a story that takes place where they live.
Yes.
Like you could connect with that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like you recognize, you know,
Names.
places, towns, and names, even family names, because Carol, even though the characters weren't
Based
those
on them,
people,
yeah.
like that family name up there, people know.
right, yeah.
There was a woman who came to the event, she was 96, I think, and she actually knew Carol's father. She had a good experience with him once, she and somebody else, it was many, many years ago,
Yeah.
broke down somewhere and he was driving down the road and he gave them a lift. And it was just, it really was, it was very
Yeah.
heartwarming.
It was,
The
it was
librarian, Chelsea there.
Oh, she was awesome.
She was great. She's the one who organized the whole thing, and she loved Without Grace, and their book club read it.
Nice.
And then they were all bought Carol's book,
yeah.
and it was very nice
Right.
event. An old building too in Malone, New York.
Yeah, I love the library.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh, and also one thing I did too, I wanted to show you is this is a cookie, and I have a friend that has a company, Rare Treats Baking, and she's starting to do cakes now.
Oh,
She's
wow.
not sure she wants to do cakes because it's quite an undertaking.
Yeah.
But I saved this one. This is the last one because
Aw.
I did all these events with these cookies. And I brought some upstate, and it was so cute because in Malone, my sister
Yeah.
got there. And she goes, "Oh, I'm gonna go get a copy."
I'll be right back.
Oh, we're losing Peggy.
You're losing me. I'll be right back.
Oh, all right. So, I'm not sure what she's up to.
I think I know what she's doing.
Okay. So yeah. So this was a lot of fun, and she's got my curiosity. I'm not sure what she's doing. Or maybe she's going to the bathroom. I don't know. But anyway, so
It's live.
no, it's done, Lacey. Stop.
So how many did she make for you?
Oh gosh, she made like 4 dozens.
You didn't bring your books out.
Peggy.
I just looked. I said,
Yeah,
she
there's
doesn't
no
even have her books.
Okay, so here's
It's
before
not- you
she
guys
wasn't
already ate.
friendly. And
This is.
Without Grace. Yes, so this is Without Grace and this is With Grace.
Okay, so Without Grace was written first. And it's the story of Vicky, whose mother was Grace, and Grace had left her family when Vicky was a baby.
Yes.
And her brother was very young. And like she wanted to know why. At first she thought she was dead, right?
Yes, they made her think that she was dead.
And then she
Right.
found out that she was alive and she left to make a name for herself, playing, singing and playing the guitar. So that's the story, like Vicky's part of the story, looking for Grace. This is the story of, because once
The
when
real
Carol,
story.
when we had the bookstore together, she was driving home and she said, Grace said, you don't know why I really left. So Carol wrote this book because Grace told Carol, because she has voices, why she left her family, the real reason. And it's a very dark reason.
Yes.
And this is all about Grace as a teenager, starting
young
from when
child.
she was a young child until through her teen years and early married life, and had 2 children. And this tells you the story of why Grace really left.
Yes.
They're very, very good books,
Thank you.
and everybody should read them.
Thank
Yes.
you. Well, how Grace is in a nursing home when you first meet her, and
Right.
before she was a Finley, and a young girl's she wants to be a journalist, so she's trying to look for a story, and she comes across Grace, and she gets a story, and Grace unfolds the story. So.
It's a very good book.
Thank you so much. Yeah, everybody that has responded to me loves it,
Yes.
and I hear from people that I haven't heard of. Or one young woman I never met. She's married to my ex-husband's nephew, and she sent my son an email. She goes, I want you to know I read your mother's book. Tell her how much I loved it, and now I want to reread Without Grace.
Oh.
So that I cherish those kind of things. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
So you can ask your library to carry it if they don't already. Some libraries have it.
Yep.
You can order it on Barnes & Noble. You can order it on Amazon if you must. It doesn't matter.
Books A Million's
And
carrying
Books
that.
A Million that carries the book. And if you do get the book and read it, please give her a review of
Yes,
it.
for both of them actually.
Yeah.
You're gonna give them both good reviews.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Well, thank you for watching.
you.
And really have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Eat too much. We
Have
deserve
some
it.
Have pie, leave some pie.
I've never heard anyone say that before. Eat too much. That's too funny.
Bye, everybody.